How's it going? Just got myself a new used carburetor off of eBay for about 250 bucks. And I have a 98 VT1100C with about 45,000 miles on it. And when I went to adjust the float bowl, I took these off, I messed with the float bowls, tried to fix the leak. I noticed that my carb was broken apart right here and right here on the connectors. And so I decided that it would be a good idea to get a new carb. I put the old one back in, fixed the float that was stuck, but it continued to leak gas. So meanwhile, I put a little catch on the gas so that's not just dumping onto the ground, and ordered this guy here. So I'm gonna open up the bowls here and see if they look okay, if I have to rebuild it or anything like that. But I will just check them out and clean everything out with some carb cleaner and go from there. Alright, good sign is the float's working properly. I will take it out and put it in water, make sure it doesn't have any holes in it. And I'll go ahead and spray some carb cleaner through the jets here. And I will use the little O-rings from the other carb that's on the motorcycle because they have been replaced recently. These look a little old. I'll try to clean out the inside of these carbs a little bit here. But this is looking good. Looks like it's in tune with each other. See how everything opens at the same time. Nice and smooth. Everything else looks fairly clean, but I'll go ahead and open the other side and do the same thing. Just unscrewing these jets here and spraying a little bit of carb cleaner through them. Wiping them down a little bit, and that should be good enough. And as you'll see in any video, you don't want to put these in too tight. Just screw them back in. Once you get them in there all the way, just go a tiny bit further as not to mess up the brass. That's good right there. Lefty loosey out. Do the same thing there. Alright, I'm gonna pop this off too. Make sure there's nothing wrong. A little spring comes out here. Looks like there might be a little hole right there. Yep. So I'm probably gonna have to replace this. I'm gonna check my old carb, see if I believe a rebuild kit was put in it, so I'm gonna see if those are still good. Otherwise I'll have to order some new ones. But yeah, I'm gonna have to replace this part. So I just gotta, I guess, unscrew that little screw there. I think you just move it a little ways and it pops out. I just replace this whole part with the other one. Yeah. First thing to do is drain the tank. So just gonna undo the little hose there, put this under there and turn it, on. Once that runs out, I'll put it in the up position to get the rest of the gallon or so that'll be in the reserve. And while that's happening, I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this little back piece, unscrew the seat, and then unscrew the back and front screw for the tank. I'll go ahead and open it to let the air go through, get the rest of the gas out, and then I'll remove it and place it on some cushions I have on the pool table over here. Tank off, Got a little room here. I took this coverage to have more room. You just got to start disconnecting everything from the carb. But first, before I do that, I'm going to remove this little tank here and this little air hose type of thingamabobber. It's just size 10. Use some needle nose pliers to pull that back. One tip I would recommend is taking pictures of the way all these hoses go. Just a couple pics there to help me know 2 things are hooked in on that one. That way if you get stuck, you don't have to refer to the manual or anything. You can just kind of take a quick look at the pictures. Pump this out and put this here so I know it goes to that. Now you got to get these out. Yeah, just unscrew this one here on the top and the screw on this one to loosen up those clamps, and it should just pop out. And you got to loosen this one too. So 1, 2, 3. If you have a hard time, you can loosen this one too, but it should just be 1, 2, 3. They should pop right out. I would go ahead and unplug all the spark plugs before continuing. Then you just start undoing everything. Take a picture from the side to see all the hoses and connections. The only kind of goofy one is this one that you unscrew. That has to do with the choke. Just do a lefty-loosey, unscrew it and pull it out. The rest of them just pop out. If it helps, use a little marker or something to show where they connect, but they pretty much can only fit in one way, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Once we get all those done, we're going to undo this little connection right here, the top part of this O-ring type of deal. There's 2 connectors that you can unscrew, but just the top one. And then once we get all that unplugged from it, that loosened, we can go ahead and pry it out. You never want to pry from these because it will break them. You want to pry from a solid part and a solid part of the carb. I'm going to use a crowbar to kind of get in there and just pop it out. To remove the throttle cables, just unscrew these 2 screws right here and the whole thing will pop out and you can just easily pop it right off. That's the easiest way to do that one. Alright, I'm going to pull this hose out here, set it aside the way that it goes back in right there, and from here I'm just going to disconnect this one here, disconnect that one, pull out this little black box little hose thing, pull it out, disconnect this hose right here, little fuel line in between, pull it out, and then I should be able to start pulling the carb up through this hole here. So it already came out that side. I just need to come over to the other side. You could use a crowbar to pop it out, but it looks like it's coming out without it. Just try to get everything out of the way here. There it goes. You just got to get it out of here. There it goes. Alright, got the carb all put back together. Sacrificed all the parts from the other one. Now I just got to get it back in with this little thing facing backwards. There we go. Set that backwards. There it is. Now we just gotta line the bottom parts here. Get it down in there. Do the same for the other side. Down in there. I'll screw that one in all the way, and once it gets to the end, just kind of a tiny bit tight, but not very hard. You could do it by hand or just with, I'm going to use some pliers, just lightly do it. A tiny bit past the seat. Some needle nose would be good, but these work kind of good too. Can't find my good needle nose right now. So before I screw it in, I'm going to add these back here again. Like that. Starting to come together. All right, now I can hook up this hose thing. This one's a little awkward. Might take you a minute, but just keep at it. Maybe take this one off before you do it. These two hoses here, put on the seat, and I'm done. Alrighty, moment of truth. And give it a jump. now, but it's still leaking gas. That fucking sucks. Well, I have to do some fine tuning.